call to order the meeting. Disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof for the agenda for this meeting and for minutes of the meeting at which a member was not in attendance. Does anyone have anything? Seeing none, then we'll move. There's no delegations or deputations. There are no minutes of previous meetings, so we'll move right into administrative reports. And our CAO is going to start off with staff report number CAO 2020-01 with regards to dormitories, accommodations, and transient.
Thank you. So before you tonight is that is a topic matter, dormitories, accommodations, transit of nature, specific to mining. The recommendation before you is that council approve the official plan and zoning bylaw amendments as it pertains to dormitories. As directed by council, staff reviewed our official plan and zoning bylaw, again as it pertains to dormitories and specifically mining camps, transient accommodations. So currently in the province of Ontario, there's 39 active mining operations, 18 of which are gold mines. Communities similar to Red Lake, in which mining operations are within close proximity, like similar to Red Lake in the sense that the communities within the shadow of the mine shafts, they do not allow specifically for dormitories under the respective official plans and zoning bylaws. Dormitories or bunkhouses have been part of Red Lake for over 90 years, but it hasn't been until like the mid-2000s that the nature and the intended use has really changed. And the peak of the mining camp beds in our community, which were 600 plus, that peak was around 2010, 2011. So given the current environment here in Red Lake, given that the housing market has 65 plus vacant and buildable lots within our municipality, there's also, as of last week, through our research, that we found out there's 67 homes for sale. And the need for additional mining camps is not in the best interest of the municipality. Organic growth of the municipality's assessment base is critical. It is critical for our sustainable future. So there's more people paying in, not the same people paying more. We all know our costs go up every year, or our funding is pulled back again, i.e. the ONPF funding. We've lost another 10%, which for 2020, which equates to just over, I think it's around $105,000. That's a lot for a small community to stomach. So I will go right to the recommendation. So under the official plan, so section 310, I'm sorry, let me just back up. Under the municipal zoning bylaw, section 3.1, section 18.3A, accessory residential uses hereby deleted and replaced with the following. So subject to a temporary use bylaw, a dormitory may be permitted in natural resources MM zone as an accessory use for mineral mining operations and forestry uses. And much of the same stays, but now if a new operation comes in and they want to do a mining camp, that there is now a process that they have to, beyond going through the building permit process. Now there's a planning process. And the idea and the intent of this is not to say absolutely not, but if it can be demonstrated that that need is there, but also that there's not the appropriate accommodations already existing within our community, whether that's existing apartment buildings, vacant lots, homes for sale. That's the intent. It's not to be the be-all, end-all. We're not allowing it, but now there's more teeth and there's more consultation, more due diligence that the municipality can do. So that's what we're recommending, and under the official plan, so again, it's subject to the zoning bylaw. So dormitories are permitted in natural resources area in association with mining and forestry uses that are zoned in the zoning bylaw. Dormitories have a residential character and may be considered sensitive use in relation to the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks guidelines. So the teeth is, if I can call it the teeth that we have, is really throughout the zoning bylaw. There are a couple alternatives. I'm sure that everyone has an opportunity to look at it, but based on our conversation and the direction that we recall from council, this is what we're putting forth in front of you today for your consideration. And I'll open it up to questions.
Would you like to start questions, comments?
Just with the one operating cap, was when it was all put in place, was there ever a time frame, or was it just left as passed and wide open?
No, there was no time frame. The only time frame that I can recall that the municipality had an agreement was with the Northern Visions. That was just off of McNeil Road.
Okay.
So as of the only operating mining accommodations that we're aware of today is the one at the New Gold Corp site, Shaft 3.
Councilor Butterfield, do you have any questions?
No, I like the proposal put forward, very much so.
Councilor Christoph?
No, I'm with Mr. Butterfield on that. I think it's good.
Mayor Mota?
I always have something to say.
Yes.
No, I think it's a fantastic report. We have to remember this was directed by council going back to staff, asking staff to come up with something like this, and I think staff's done a wonderful job. As the CAO alluded to the fact that we have at least 67 vacant homes, and there's probably even more vacancy with rentals and all sorts of different properties out there. And we have to think of our future as well too, and as well as the CAO alluded to the fact our OMPF funding's being slashed another 10%, which in dollars and cents means another $105,000, $104,000 being cut for funding. So if we want to create ourselves to be sustainable for the future, we have to start thinking of our future and what's best for our entire community, not just a mining community. So that being said, I definitely recommend moving this forward to council for approval. And again, it's something that is amendable by going through the planning stage, and there is a format to follow, and then it'll be up to council's discretion on what will happen moving forward based on the recommendation from the Planning Advisory Committee. So thank you very much for staff for doing this report.
Yes, it is interesting to find out just how many vacancies. That's
There is.
sort of alarming too. All right, so we're ready for the question for the resolution. Moved by Councilor Butterfield, seconded by Councilor Leduc. Resolved that the Committee of the Whole hereby recommends that the Council of the Municipality of Red Lake accepts staff report number CAO 2020-01, the Administration Department, regarding the dormitories and accommodations with regards to transient. All those in favor? Carried. And our CAO is going to carry on, and we're going to be looking at the draft Municipality of Red Lake Strategic Plan, 2020 to 2023.
Great. Okay, thank you. So back in August, it was August 26th of 2019, staff provided a progress report on our 2016-2020 strategic plan. And in the conclusion of that progress report, we acknowledged that there was a lot of work that was achieved, but we also recognize there's a lot of work we need to do. And there's, like anything, we know there's always areas that we can continue to strive for improvement. But through the progress report, you can see that the community is moving forward, and it's moving forward in a positive way. And I think from a staff perspective, I won't speak for council, but I believe you concur, is that that this strategic plan, although quite valid, just needs a refresh. And we've done that. So there was a series of workshops. Council on November 11th met, and then met again on November 25th. Staff, department heads met as well to comment on the strategic plan on the refresh. And it was quite a positive experience, and I want to just acknowledge and thank staff for their contributions, and also, of course, thank council for their insight and contributions as well. So we went through all the categories of the within our strategic plan. We looked at our mission and the vision. We revisited our values and our beliefs, and then we dove into the strategic directions and the objectives. And then the common theme is that this document is still valid, but there's things we need to refresh. And one thing that was evident throughout the process was the word inclusion. I think we hit the mark on a lot of sustainability, collaboration, partnerships, acknowledging our past, but it's that inclusion moving forward was very important. So our mission statement was, Municipality of Red Lake exists to create a sustainable environment in which citizens and business can thrive. The update is the Municipality of Red Lake is committed to enhancing a sustainable environment where citizens and business can thrive. So the key change there was the enhancing, recognizing we are doing a lot of things contributing to our sustainable future, but now we need to push forward and enhance those. Under vision, under the 2016-2020 strategic plan, the Municipality of Red Lake will be a vibrant, attractive and sustainable community. The update is the Municipality of Red Lake will be a vibrant, attractive, inclusive, and sustainable community. So some very valid changes there. Under values and beliefs, much stayed the same. Again, the word inclusion is very, very important to council, and so is under believing. We believe in engaging, the engagement of our residents, whether it's our residents, each other, within the region, within the province, within the country, is very important. We reviewed the, after our beliefs, values and beliefs, we reviewed the current state, summary, the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and risks. Under strengths, we added supportive community that were investment ready, i.e. the highway commercial. We look at it often perhaps maybe in frustration, but if we can look beyond the today, and again, our sustainable future, we talk about the road south quite often, that there will be a point where that, we strongly believe that will be full, but we're ready. So when there's advancements on the Barons River Bridge, Red Lake will be ready for the next developments. Ongoing developments, cultural diversity, we believe, and that's been Red Lake's strength, in my opinion, from the very beginning. And that's something that has been recognized by people that visit here or people that have been exposed to Red Lakers outside. And also strength is asset management. We're meeting the objectives and requirements under asset management, but this is ongoing. but we believe it's our strength, and it's a strength in the sense that we know what our assets are, we know their condition, albeit frustrating because we require a lot of funding and assistance to address our deficiencies, but we have a plan, and we're doing it through our community sustainability plan, through our budgeting every year. I think we're very we're advanced there. We just need a little bit of help as through funding. Under weaknesses, we added waste management costs in that. A couple different angles there, but Red Lake has never been required to recycle. We're under that 5,000 population threshold, but Red Lake decided, and I don't know exactly what year, to recycle. There was one year we were ranked number 13th in all of the province of how well we were doing recycling. I don't recall that year, maybe others do, but it was probably in, it would have been like 2014, 2015. But with recycling, and so good on Red Lake for recycling. With recycling, it's very costly. So, and it's a weakness in the sense it costs us a lot, and with the projected changes to the Blue Box program, there's going to be in recycling in general, there'll be more challenges ahead for our community. Green initiatives were identified. Intercommunity transportation, it's getting folks within all of our hamlets. Activity programming, senior-assisted housing, so housing for our seniors. We've recognized that there's a definite gap from the long-term home to individuals or couples that are going from their existing home. There's a large gap in between there. There's lots of opportunities here in Red Lake. Road South is a great opportunity. It's truly our sustainable future. Being a regional hub, we've also added cultural recreation opportunities. We have the UNESCO site just at our doorstep, Yamachi-Yaki, which is one of its kind in Canada, I believe, because it has 2 designations. So that is a great opportunity for us. Alternative revenue sources, partnerships, shared services agreements. We've made headway with shared service agreements with Deer Falls. We've done that in the way of waste management. We're doing that with bylaw. There likely will be other opportunities in the future, not just with Deer Falls, but also the Kanishkun Nation. There's a lot of opportunities, and other communities are recognizing that we need to work together and share for us all to be successful. We have the Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan, which is, we're mandated to have that completed by January 1st, 2021. That's a work in progress, but although mandated by government, we're viewing it as a very positive step for the well-being of our community. Speaking of shared services agreements, we're partnering with Deer Falls on that one, and our clerk Christine Goulet is our representative, should be heading that charge on our behalf. And also alternative, I mentioned already, alternative revenue sources. So risks, resource industry town, property assessment fluctuation. We've seen the housing markets go from a house selling for $300,000, or I should say $150,000 3 years later, it's selling for $300,000. Where we're landing today, well, we're not down to $150,000, but surely not $300,000 today. Fluctuation with the mining industry. We've had challenges in the past with appeals. In fact, in 1 year we lost $21 million on three properties, one company. And that equated to almost right around $500,000 in lost revenue. But again, want to thank council and staff for all your hard work, because we found a way to keep moving our community forward with that loss in revenue and assessment. We have global retail market. That's a challenge. Volunteer burnout, changing weather patterns. We talked about the OPF funding, provincial and federal funding cuts. We're also seeing that, and I know discussions are ongoing, but with the health units, there's more to come on that. And also the provincial land tax in unorganized areas. The thought there is unorganized properties are utilizing our services, and from a regional perspective, the cities and municipalities and the townships are feeling that the unorganized territories are not paying their fair share, and they're utilizing services, whether it's EMS, whatever, services. So, does anyone have any comments, questions at this point? No?
No, I was looking at the.
I'll wait till the end.
Want to wait?
So under our strategic directions, and I won't go through every but it was evident from a staff perspective and from mayor and council through our workshops that these are valid, that we want to work towards a responsive regional service hub, prepare for the road south, expand government investment. Again, valid, towards more people, more businesses. So stimulate business development, revitalize downtown, and that's not just specific downtown Red Lake, that it's inclusive to our entire municipality, and enhance neighborhoods. And the third one is towards modern, efficient operations and infrastructure. So targeted investments in infrastructure, efficient citizen-centered services, and expanded municipal revenue. So I will leave it open to comments, questions, and if anyone wants to, I mean, it used to be the road north, but we're preparing for the road south, because really it's the road south that, for those folks from Sandy Lake, and McDowell Lake, Poplar Hill, North Spirit Lake, Deer Lake, Hueywan, Decatchment. And on that, we've had many discussions about the road south, Bears River Bridge, and working together as a region, keeping in mind that Red Lake doesn't want Toronto telling us what to do, or telling us what we need to do, or what's in our best interest. And the same goes for the Sandy Lakes and the Poplar Hills, etc. So I will open it up to the floor for staff, and again, want to thank staff for all their hard work. Christine and Michelle, if you have anything to add, please do. And we'll leave it open for council, mayor and council.
Mayor Odo, go ahead.
Thank you. I concur, Mr. CAO. I'd like to thank staff for all the work. Many years ago, there was a company that was hired to come in to create a strategic plan. Our own staff felt they could achieve this with all their hard work. So kudos to staff and everyone's involvement with creating the strategic plan. Just a couple comments. Our CAO alluded to the fact of our asset management plan. I'd also like to strike that our strategic plan is also the backbone and necessity for us to move forward. It gives us direction, it gives us strategies, it gives us objectives, with all of council's feedback during our previous meetings on what we would like to achieve. So that's really important. The second thing behind that is without an asset management plan or strategic planning, when we go to funders to ask for dollars, if we don't have something that's concrete and specific, we won't even make the first stage of funding. So this is something that's a live document. It's not something that's put on the shelf. It's something that we will continue to revisit and move forward with and meet those objectives that we can. And I'd just like to say again, thank you for everybody's input. And it's going to make Red Lake a greater place to live, and people visiting and people who want to be here. It's really going to open our horizons. So again, thank you to everybody for their input.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to make a comment?
Definitely would like to throw out the appreciation of the staff's hard work putting it together. It's definitely, like Mayor Mo said, giving us a concrete plan, giving us a foundation for financial structure, and definitely making people realize that we're not just sitting around. We're actually looking forward and trying to develop the area. It actually makes me proud.
Anyone else? I'm going to say I totally agree. I liked the fact that it was a combination of staff input, and I felt like I was really included. And I think all of us actually felt as though what we had to say was valued. And one of the other things that there's an action plan that goes with this as well. Right? There are actionable items that we've got. So there's lots for us to do in the next 4 years. It's 2023. Yes. But yes, thank you very much. Ready? Ready. So moved by Councillor Christoph, seconded by Councillor Butterfield. Resolved that the Committee of the Whole hereby recommends that the Council of the Municipality of Red Lake adopts the Municipality of Red Lake Strategic Plan 2020 to 2023 as presented. All those in favor? Carried. Now we'll move on to 5.2, and this is our clerk. It's staff report number BL 2001 regarding accessibility annual report for 2019.
So this report captures a summary of the actions completed to improve accessibility in 2019. In the coming months, staff will be developing a multi-year plan, which will span out 2020 to 2025, which will identify strategies for meeting accessibility standards for council's review and adoption. So it's for information if anybody has any questions or comments.
Any questions? Comments? Yes, very well.
Thank you for the information. When I read the document, there's a lot to achieve, so I'm glad it's not all reachable in 365 days. So there's going to be a lot of work to achieve, and thank you for the information. Our bylaw officer and everybody is going to be quite busy just with this living document as well, so thank you for providing that.
I really liked how you also included things that we've just done in the past year that indicate how we can meet accessibility needs. So, anyone else want to add anything? Councilor Padu? Okay, all right. Moved by Councilor Padu, seconded by Councilor Butterfield, to resolve that the Committee of the Whole hereby recommends that the Council of the Municipality of Red Lake accepts staff report number BL 2001, Bylaw Department, regarding accessibility annual report for 2019. All those in favor? Carried. And we're moving on to 5.3 and our treasurer. This is, no, there's nothing. Oh, it just says treasurer. There are no referred and deferred items, so we're moving on to new business. 7.1, AMO, which is the Association of Municipalities in Ontario, its call for action to pass a resolution about transition of the blue box to full producer responsibility. Who is leading this discussion?
Right here.
Mayor Mona?
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
okay.
I asked for consideration for this. So this was sent to us by Jamie McGarvey, who's the AMO president of Ontario. So I'd just like to read a couple excerpts from here and then create a discussion. So municipal governments have been advocating for over a decade for producers to have a full fiscal and operational responsibility for end-of-life management of their packaging, printed paper, and paper products. Producers are best positioned to reduce waste, increase the resources that are recovered, and reincorporated into the economy and enable a consistent province-wide system that makes recycling easier and more accessible. In August of 2019, Minister Urick announced that the municipal Blue Box programs will be transitioned to full producer responsibility over a 3-year period based on the recommendation of the Special Advisor's report titled Renewing the Blue Box. That being said, as I mentioned earlier, Jamie sent us this and the rest of municipalities in Ontario, and he's asking that councils pass a resolution outlining our municipal government's preferred date to transition your Blue Box program to full producer responsibility if provided the opportunity is to self-determine, meaning between January 1st of 2023 and December 31st of 2025. So what they're asking for is a resolution to come forward saying we would like to move forward with this. If we create a date, and let's just say it's January 1st, 2023, we don't have to be bound by that. There is flexibility. But it is given direction, and also to the government and to the producers for recycling, that they are becoming more responsible for their end-of-the-life products. Which in turn goes with a conversation that our CAO was having earlier on, where we lose a lot of money in recycling, as you're aware, through our budget process. And this may be beneficial to our community and other communities in Ontario if this program is stipulated in the future. So AMO is asking for us to create a resolution to move forward, and they gave us a sample resolution to go through in the back of the document, and the resolution would be titled Resolution on Transition to Full Producer Responsibility. So I thought this was an important initiative to bring up and to see if there's council support to move this forward, and if so, we can create a resolution using the template and bring it back to council for approval.
Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I'm in full support of the resolution. I feel that the recycling program is being downloaded on us more and more, and responsibility should be with the producers.
Right. And that's the point the AMOs of the world are trying to get at with the province, and trying to create target dates for municipalities to say, okay, we're kind of done. And with particular types of recycle, we know it's a changing windmill right now, but there may be some light at the end of the tunnel in regards to recycling.
Anyone else want to add?
Just for the producer responsibility, I know we had talked about this before, and about there being a quota, that there had to be a certain amount that they would reach, and so I'm in full favor of this. That's what I would like to find out, is if there's going to be any work on that, because if they're going to stick to a quota that by the time it reaches Barrie, Ontario, they're going to fill their quota, and then so what's going to happen with the rest of Ontario? That would be my concern. I'm full support of this. I believe we should go that the resolution for sure. I just hope that the government will look at those sorts of things when they're going to start rolling this out to take all of the province.
Yes, go ahead.
And that's a really good point, and we'll have an opportunity to meet with the minister at Roma. We are confirmed to meet with him, and one of our topic matters is this.
So, sorry.
No, go ahead.
And again, this is invalid points, and I thought of a couple of them as well too. You know, what does that mean for Northwestern Ontario versus Southern Ontario and all of those different geographic pieces put together of it? When reading the document and doing a little bit of research behind it, it's still in the infancy stage behind it all. So AMO's trying to gain support through municipalities to put some pressure on the province to start making these changes with the producers. So there's a lot of questions still, wholeheartedly, but I think it's supporting AMO and supporting other municipalities to move forward on this. And looking after our own needs as well for our future.
So I just have a question. So in this, it says you can date it with any date. Do you have a recommended date that you're thinking? Or?
I was thinking the first available date.
Which is January 1st, 2023.
23.
That you'd like to see us.
Because we can always amend it.
And we're not bound.
That's exactly right. So sooner than later is my thought. I mean, if we're thinking of 2025, I would say, well, why wait 2 years if we can opt in, if this program is a go, January 1st of 2023. That's my thought behind it.
I have a feeling that this also, with AMO pushing this forward, is that if the producers are going to take responsibility, the ones that get on, the ones that get on quickly and find ways for all of us to be able to return our packaging to them are going to be the ones that will make the most money out of this.
You would think.
In sales. Because they're,
And then hopefully that reduces our municipal costs, because we know our municipal costs are exuberant for recycling.
so how do we move forward? We just wait for it for the next meeting and we'll come forward with this resolution worded the way.
Yeah, there's a, as I mentioned, there's a template resolution on the back that we can use.
Okay.
So may I just suggest that we'll proceed forward with this template. However, following our meeting at Roma, we may want to change it, tweak it to suit our needs.
Fair.
Go ahead.
And we're not, Mayor Moore said we're not bound by it, so we can back up, so because I believe all our recycle goes to Manitoba, right?
Correct.
So it could be totally different for our recycling in the future. If we're buying into an Ontario program and Manitoba doesn't, that's all right.
My understanding was that this was producer responsibilities and national programs and what? Yes, go ahead.
It's my understanding as well too, where it's produced. Again, it's in the infancy stage of it. We don't know what that means, dollars and cents to municipalities, and if it's really beneficial to the Red Lakes of the world versus the Berries of the world or Southern Ontario's. We're not sure what that looks like, but what we're trying to say in this, we're not bound by anything. It's just showing support for the action, and the good Lord willing, things move forward and they're positive, and we opt in with our motion for January 1st of 2023. It could benefit us versus waiting till, say, 2025. So there's no harm, no foul by opting in or putting that date in for our motion at all.
And I just wanted to know that we do have some time. They asked that the resolution be passed by June 30th, 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions or comments? So we will wait for a recommended date then to bring this forward.
Okay.
All right. Moved by Councillor Paduch, seconded by Councillor Christoph. Resolved that the Committee of the Whole hereby adjourns to meeting at the call of the chair. All those in favor?